I am going to start recording. And then we know that I already won the Wellness Wednesday of the day. Amazing. Here we are. Let's get it going. It is Wednesday. It is Wellness Wednesday. And I am really excited to be with you another week. We've been going through morning routines, talking about self-massage specifically, but we're going to stay on this theme of morning routines. But this week specifically, we're going to switch it up and we're going to talk about oral care, tongue scraping. So before we go any further, let me introduce myself if we've never met before. My name is Lauren Baptiste, and I am an executive wellness coach, international speaker, corporate well-being consultant. And my business, Acheloa Wellness, works with empowered, ambitious individuals just like you, break through the effects of stress so that you can thrive. We do this by giving you the mindset, techniques, the positive shifts that you need to make to really feel that you can break through whatever's holding you back. So often stress is the thing that holds us back in our careers, in our relationships, in our health, and beyond. So this is my invitation to you to take back control. I know so many of you that I'm speaking to are just over 2020, and I don't blame you, right? It's a hard year on a lot of us, but I will say that there are still over 3 months. That's over 25% of a year that you can make something happen. And so maybe that promotion is no longer in your power. Maybe that raise is now actually a cutting of your salary, and we have to deal with that. But what you do have is control of yourself, control of how you take care of your well-being, and control of your attitude. And attitude in this world right now in this pandemic is everything. So I want to give you this tool, this technique to help boost your energy, to boost your attitude when things get tough. So let's dive into it, because otherwise we're just going to start talking about attitude, and we are talking about morning techniques. And why do we care about the morning? What does it matter? Well, the morning sets the path for the rest of your day. Think about it. Have you ever had a donut in the morning, and then later for lunch you're craving some cookies, and then maybe for dinner you want just a little bit of a dessert? The idea is the morning sets the cadence for the rest of the day. Don't wait until the end of the day to make it a good day. Start in the beginning. Just like I said as I started recording this, I already won this recording because I already hit the button to record it, right? If I don't record, then all of a sudden it might throw off the rest of the Wellness Wednesday. And so without further ado, let's talk about our mornings. One important reason why the morning matters so much is that we start by cleansing the five senses. So we've talked about this in prior Wellness Wednesdays, but just as a refresher, we have five senses, which we probably heard growing up. We have hearing, we have touch, we have sight, we have smell, and we have taste. These five senses need to be cleaned properly in order to see. Imagine glasses that you wear or contacts that were never cleaned. You would be seeing foggy, hazy, it wouldn't be clear. And just like it is with our senses, we need to cleanse them to make sure we can properly see, properly perceive, properly experience. So this is why we have strong morning routines. And we talked about self-massage, abhyanga, because it's cleansing self-touch. So today we're talking about more oral care, which can relate to taste, and it can relate to some of the other senses, but we're cleaning the mouth because it is the starting point of our morning. It's the starting point of our GI, our gastrointestinal tract, and it starts in the mouth and it ends at the colon. So even if we're dealing with tough digestion or even bad breath is a huge indicator that there's something going wrong in the pipes. If it's really chronic bad breath, like a lot of us wake up with bad breath, yes, but if after you clean your mouth, you're still dealing with feeling that bad breath, likely there's something going on in your digestive tract. And so we're starting by cleansing the mouth properly. One thing you'll notice, maybe in the morning you wake up and you look at your tongue and there's a white coating or a yellow coating, or maybe sometimes I even hear a gray or purplish coating. And so that coating is also an indicator of something going on in the mouth, in the GI tract, and in the body. So we want to notice that, but we also want to clean it. So we start our morning, and we're going to go through a whole episode of just how to layer in a morning routine. But today, talking about the mouth specifically. So we start by cleaning the mouth with rinsing or swishing. And so some of us already do this. Before you wash your teeth, brush your teeth, you put some water in your mouth, you gargle it a little, and maybe you swish or spit out. So this is a really nice thing to do first thing in the morning. With hot water, it actually already starts the cleansing process. So it's really nice to start your morning by swishing some hot water in the mouth to clean the mouth, the gums, the teeth, and the tongue. Now, there's other things you can use to swish in your mouth. Some of us have heard of the coconut oil pulling, definitely something you can do. Sesame oil pulling, same as coconut, just a different oil, has a different quality. We talked last week, even sesame has a warmer quality in the oil and coconut has a cooler, but they both have this idea that they're pulling toxicity out of the mouth. I've even seen some, they swish cold milk, and this can have a cleansing action too. It's more of a cooling action. So maybe if you're dealing with heartburn or stomachitis, something like that, it can be really cooling. Again, we're not swallowing the milk, but we're gargling it and then spitting it out. So step one, swishing. And then we move to cleansing the teeth. And so a lot of us brush our teeth every morning. Let's keep that up. Very good thing to do every single day, day and night at least. So we want to cleanse the teeth. Now, here's the thing. When we think about most toothpastes, they have an effect that has sweet. Some of these toothpastes are very sweet to taste, and even we give to our kids really sweet tasting toothpaste to encourage them to brush their teeth. But here's the thing. When we talk about Ayurveda, there are 3 tastes that really help with cleansing. These tastes are astringent, bitter, and pungent. And so what we want to do is create a toothpaste with these qualities of herbs that will help cleanse the teeth. So I even brought an empty tube of toothpaste that I highly recommend. It's called Ayurveda. And this is not like, I'm not getting paid for this. I just like this toothpaste. And it has neem in it. And it has other Ayurvedic herbs in it. And at this point, you can find anything on Amazon, but you could also find it in a lot of health food stores now. And neem has an incredibly cleansing action that is part of that toothpaste and a lot of these Ayurvedic toothpaste, and they really help you clean on a deeper level. And so let's just now take a moment. I've started my morning. I swished in my mouth some hot water or something else. I've cleaned my teeth using neem. And I promise you, actually, the taste is not like, I actually really like this taste. It has a licorice kind of taste. So if you like licorice, you will love this. And if you don't, then there are other Ayurvedic toothpastes you can try for sure. But I'm telling you, this is not like gross. And because I think some of us, when we think, well, what if I navigate away from Crest or Tongs or, what else is out there for me? And this is a really wonderful one. So just throwing that out there and giving them a little shout out. Now, step 3, where we're focused on today, is scraping the tongue, cleaning the tongue. So many of us don't clean our tongue. Maybe a few of us brush our tongue with a toothbrush, but I'm telling you, once you start to clean your tongue, you will never go back. You will never want to go back because you're going to miss that feeling, that after the dentist feel like you have on your teeth, on your tongue, really clean. And what this does is, again, we're removing any toxicity that arises. So think about when you're laying at night, you're sleeping, all of the toxicity is coming up the esophagus and into the tongue. So there's a little bit of toxins coming there. And then there's some that's just pushing through the blood. So again, waking up in the morning, they have this coat on the tongue. We call it ama. And that ama needs to get cleaned off. Again, when we clean our glasses, when we clean our senses, what we're doing is we're going to be able to taste better. And there's so many other benefits, right? We're cleaning the GI tract. We're cleaning the mouth. If you deal with a lot of cavities, we're freshening the breath. It goes on. And actually, the tongue is a map to the rest of the body. So depending on the ama and where you're seeing accumulate, it can actually be indicative of what's going on in your GI tract and where. And so we are not going to go into that today, but it's just an incredible, incredible thing. So a lot of us know of foot reflexology. The idea with the tongue, even by scraping the tongue, we're massaging all of the organs that are related to the tongue. That's why the body is so intelligent. It's so intertwined. So just because I can't see my liver doesn't mean I can't activate it in the morning. So we're going to do it with our tongue scraper. And so I brought a tongue scraper here. And so some of you ask me, I get this question a lot, what is your favorite tongue scraper? Again, this is not a commercial. Like, I am not getting paid for this. I'm just sharing my experience. There is a tongue scraper that I like out there on Amazon called Dr. Tongs, T-U-N-G. I don't know if that's like a pun, but it just seems appropriate. But anyway, Dr. Tongs is my favorite. This one is not. This is a different one. But honestly, any tongue scraper is still beneficial. It's better than a toothbrush, and it's better than doing nothing. Most tongue scrapers are only $10, give or take. So it's a really cheap investment for something that's going to benefit you so greatly. And they're really easy to clean. You can wash it with a little bit of soap. You can boil it in warm water or in hot water. And then you can clean your tongue scraper and have it accessible all the time. And so tongue scraping, again, because it's not only just cleaning the tongue, it's stimulating the entire body. We want to do this in the morning because that's when we're trying to awaken everything. We're trying to shake off any rust or toxicity that's happening in the body. And tongue scraping is a great way to do it. So another question I get, and before I go any further, just letting you know, sometimes I get asked, because in Ayurveda, they use a copper tongue scraper. The thing with copper is it does turn over time. And I just know that I would not want to recommend that to a client if they're not on top of the health of and the quality of their tongue scraper. So if you want to be super safe, go with sterling silver. It works as well, though just letting you know, according to the ancient text, they use copper. Copper is also available on Amazon or wherever you're looking. Just be mindful. All right. So what we're going to do with the tongue scraper, because I get this question a lot, is you take the tongue scraper and you go from the back and you pull forward. And so you don't want to pull or push so hard on the tongue that the buds start to bleed. We do not want any bleeding. We just want this to be a gentle coat cleansing. And so you scrape from the back of the tongue to the front a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times, maybe more if you're feeling needed. And what you'll notice is on each scrape, there will be ama, or that coating on the inside. Make sure you clean that off each time before. You could just rinse it and then do a full clean at the end of your tongue scraping use. And so what's really good to know is if you're talking with an Ayurvedic health counselor, let them know what color is coming off of your tongue. It's a really good indicator. And a lot of times a health counselor will ask you if they look at your tongue. All right. So I'm going to just show you a little bit so you can get a feel. Because really the question I get so often is, how do you do it? And how do I not choke or gag? And I know if I put a toothbrush too far, it will create the gag, but this does not for me. And so I hope it doesn't for you. And just to be really safe, if you're not comfortable or sure, start where you are comfortable. So maybe sometimes you start maybe in the middle of the tongue and you work your way back as you get more comfortable with the experience. So here we go. So you stick your tongue out. And then each time you would clean it. And then you clean it. And then you clean it. And so this is starting to get dirty, so I'm going to put it to the side. But it's really that simple. You stick your tongue out and from the back to the front, and then you clean it. And then that is beautiful oral care. I can speak to it personally. Growing up, there was one time I went to a dentist and they told me I had many cavities in my mouth. Whether or not that was true, I don't know. But in the meantime, as a kid, I definitely had cavities growing up. And I know a lot of adults I speak to are afraid of the dentist because they're nervous about what they're going to say. But if you can take the reins of your oral health, not only are you benefiting your mouth care, which is really important, but you're also benefiting the entire body just by taking an extra minute to scrape your tongue. So that is it for today, guys. I hope this helps you understand the benefits of why it's so important to take care of your mouth, why something like tongue scraping can benefit you and your entire body. And also a couple of signals we mentioned, right? If we're sensing any bad breath, if we're sensing a lot of cavities, if we're dealing with yellowing teeth, all of these things can be helped and modified using a tongue scraper. So wishing you an incredible, healthy mouth so that the rest of your health falls into place. Take control of what you can. Oh, and let me just mention for the month of September, so we have about 1 week left, I am doing a sale on Ayurvedic health consults. So if that's something that you want as the seasons change, as your health has been affecting you, I want you to feel free to reach out. It's a really good opportunity to just see what's happening in your body and how can you find more balance. We are coming into the fall, which can be one of the harshest seasons for us to deal with on a regular basis, especially for those dealing with a lot of work stress and life stress. So be kind to yourself these next few weeks. I'm here for you if I can support in any way. Feel free to email me, Lauren at acheloawellness.com. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Have a great one. Thank you for joining. All right. Thank you, everybody on Facebook, for joining. So great to have you. Take care.